So welcome back, everyone. So up now we have the Angular team. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Well done. And they're here ready for your questions, which you've been tweeting. Thanks very much. So I'm going to start with one. I actually didn't realize how good the Angular team are at animal noises, which I discovered during a panel session this week, last couple of days. So it's going to take too long going round. So we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, and all of you have to do your best animal noise at one go. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3. See, and now you know them all so much better. Okay, so first question.
Well, yeah, thank you. Performance of a lifetime.
Please clap.
All right, so I have a question from Daryl. How small do you think the bundles will eventually be? And what do you say to people who think Angular is a heavy framework?
I say phooey is what I say to that. I think that it's a thing that we will continually improve. One of the great things about having Angular and having this compiler in the middle is that our goal is that you should be able to write idiomatic Angular components. And as we do better things, as the web gets better, as new things come onto the platform that we can take advantage of, your code will get smaller and smaller and smaller. I think I'd probably get in trouble if I gave an exact number. I'm looking at Stephen Fluen, so I won't do that. But I do think we will get smaller and smaller and smaller over time. It's a thing we will continually improve.
Negative size is our goal.
Yeah, the chart shows will be negative in 2019, I think that was. So at some point.
It's a goal. It's not necessarily,
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. What's the best way to get up to speed and maintain my knowledge when the framework is updating so frequently?
Stephen? Sure. So we've really worked very, very hard to make sure that the core concepts in Angular aren't changing that fast at all. The things that you learned in version 2.0.0 still work in version 4. They still work in version 5. They're going to keep working in version 6 and 7. Ooh, scary. And so really, the knowledge that you learn when you join kind of the Angular community is going to keep lasting. How to stay up to date. We try to do a really good job of, with every release, putting out a bunch of release notes. We try and make it a little bit more meaningful in terms of blog posts that capture the changes and what they mean for you as a developer. And so I think that's a story that we are doing better at now, and we want to keep doing even better.
upgrades. You got a mic? Oh, I do. Yeah, and also we want to work on tooling that can actually make the process even better and faster and more automatic, so that you guys can actually just do one command, ng update, and that will transform. That will do every baking changes, transform your code, your project, move from one version to the next if there is anything complex, or yeah, just make your life easier.
And we should also mention all the educators in our community that are helping people update their knowledge. Shai is nodding his head. So yes, there's Shai, but there's many other people that are covering. Only Shai. There's only Shai, then nobody else. There are lots of good courses on Pluralsight that are being updated with every major release, so keep an eye on those.
Yeah, basically, for every commit that Mishko does, there's a Reddit post. So if you really want to pay attention at that level, there's a lot of docs on that.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. So one question from Stephen about testing. He's saying, running many tests that use the testbed is slow. Are there any improvements we can expect in version 5 and beyond?
I think I'll take this one. So one of the improvements we made was with version 5, we shipped incremental AOT compiler, which can help with the speed. We know that there are some more things we can do with the testbed, and these are going to be worked on in 6 and 7.
Cool. My boss keeps pushing me to use Angular with JavaScript instead of TypeScript because he doesn't trust it. But I like it. What can I do to persuade him?
Don't trust your boss.
Well, as another answer, I actually had to do this and convince our boss that it's okay to use TypeScript. So what we won with this is TypeScript becomes JavaScript. So if it really goes terribly, terribly wrong, we can copy the JavaScript output and submit that instead. And so that convinced him that this is still safe. It's still stuff that makes sense to us. Oh, I work on actually Google Analytics, and so I'm up here with the Angular team. But it's a very large project across, I think, 8 different binaries. So we use TypeScript now. Yes. I also contribute to Angular material. So we had the talk on the data table yesterday and some more with AngularJS material a few years ago.
Oh, thank you. What are the pros and cons of migrating a version 1 app to rebuilding from scratch in version 5?
Oh dear.
Did I read that in a
Do I have like
confusing way?
30 minutes just to answer this one?
Sure. Go ahead.
So the short story is that it all comes down to your business drivers. You know, how big your team is, what the benefits of actually using Angular over AngularJS are. There was a really interesting point made by Victor in one of the Q&As where he said that it might be that you don't actually need to upgrade all of your app anyway, that some parts of your app can just stay as AngularJS, because if you make a really nice AngularJS app, it's just great. So why bother upgrading? But the downside of doing the upgrade is that you have to put time in. So you have to be able to balance that out against your business benefits, which are improvements in performance, the fact that the code base is being continually improved, whereas the AngularJS code base is starting to slow down. So I think it's an impossible question to answer generically. It depends on your individual scenario. Anyone else?
The Angular core GitHub repo has 2,000 issues and 300 pull requests dating back 2 years. How can community help with housekeeping?
So actually, just before AngularConnect, I sent out some emails to the team, and we spin up some efforts to get the issue tracker and the pull requests under control. We're working on bringing some robots to help us, and
Zombies.
zombies. Robots that will close all the issues. No, we're not going to close all the issues. We've done that once on AngularJS, and it was not a good idea. So we're not going to repeat that mistake again. It just comes down to prioritizing this, and we haven't been in the past, and I think we're changing the approach to this now.
And how can the community help?
The community can help by filing issues that are very clear, so that when we look at an issue, we don't need to be spending hours trying to understand what the reporter is trying to tell us. Because we think every issue is important, but not every issue is understandable and actionable. So if you're filing issues, please make them actionable so that we know what's going on and what we need to do about it.
I was looking out in the audience to see where Manu Murthy is. Is he here? Oh, he flew home. So unfortunately, he flew home, which I just found out. But we also just hired a gentleman named Manu who was here with us for the last 2 days. And one of the first projects he's been working on is actually issue triage. So we made that his priority for a brand new employee. He's also going to help us with our milestone and project tracking for our versions as we move forward, so that we'll have better capabilities to know what we're doing across all of our projects as well.
Nice, thank you. How do you know which versions of Angular, CLI, RxJS, TypeScript, etc. work together? So I guess it's like dependency conflict.
What are you looking at? Well, the CLI actually has some version checking that will tell you whether like your environment is compatible. It's just a warning, but it will tell you like, oh, you're using an old version of TypeScript, maybe you should upgrade, or you're using a version of TypeScript that is not yet tested properly with Angular, so maybe you need to use another version. Outside of that, just when NPM tells you that there is a peer dependency that's not met, or that there is an error in the dependencies, take a look.
Yeah, we usually communicate the version compatibility through the package.json metadata within package.json. So if npm or yarn is telling you that you have a version mismatch in your application, then you should be paying attention to that. Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
We test various versions together, especially in CLI. So multiple versions are supported, and the ones that are not, you'll know through NPM.
Exactly.
I would say historically we were a little bit looser with the version of RxJS or the version of TypeScript that you needed, but specifically in version 5 we had stronger requirements for what you needed because we were relying on kind of more modern versions of RxJS. And so as we're kind of increasing our selectiveness about what versions of TypeScript we support, what versions of RxJS we support, we're going to be adding more tooling to help fill that gap.
Cool. So we're now on to a panel question. So this is for every one of you. We'll pass around the mics. What's the thing you're most excited about for Angular in 2018? Keep it short, please.
Elements.
Start with Pete.
Oh,
Go on.
I was going to say that. We were all going to say NG elements.
That's okay. You can all say
So
that.
we're all done.
I'll say it.
Are you all going to say it? Come on, there must be some other
Oh,
answers.
yeah. No,
So I was watching the presentation that Lucas gave on animations, and I think making applications that are highly interactive, that are immersive, is very important for the next generation of applications that will come on the web. And I would like Angular to be one of the solutions for this. So I think that would be really cool if we made good progress in this area.
Cool. Anyone else?
I would like to see schematics really taking off and people really making great schematics to like use cases, workflows that we didn't think about, and that we can integrate better with the CLI and other toolings. Really looking for the community for that.
Faster, smaller, better and smarter builds. That's what I want.
I'm really excited for service workers in 2018 and what they're going to do for all you guys and girls.
Nobody actually said it, so I'll say elements. No. No, actually, NG upgrade is the thing that I'm most looking forward to. And that will actually also, or should also, solve the problem of version compatibilities as well. As we upgrade your application to different versions, we could also do the same thing with dependencies and matching the dependencies that you need within your application to support a different version. That one, and library support. I know a lot of you struggle with publishing separate libraries. To be able to get support for that is going to be a big win for us. Update, upgrade.
No, upgrade is Java, AngularJS.
I'm really excited.
Update. NG update, that's what I said. Can you edit the video, please?
I'm really excited to see, as you guys know, part of my job is kind of talking to other developers that are building with Angular. I'm excited to see the cool stories. We've hit a real critical mass of like, yeah, there's lots of really big companies doing cool things with Angular, but we want to see what other cooler things can you do. So if you have a cool story, let me know.
Kind of following on from that, I'm quite interested to see what people start doing with the CDK. Yeah, as some of the communities start to actually build some really cool widget libraries on top of that.
Sorry, CDK again.
Oh, I thought you'd already decided not to say anything.
Well, since I'm working on IAT, and I would say code translation, a lot of people are waiting for that, so.
Anyone else?
Sure.
Okay. I guess for Angular to keep getting smaller and faster, and we have a lot of exciting plans surrounding that for next year. I don't think I can say more than that.
All right, I have another one for which you have to pass the microphone around. What inspires you outside of work?
Okay, I got it. What inspires me? I actually have a near 20-year-old son in computer science, and he sent me an email a few days ago that told me his greatest aspiration is to be like me. So it's pretty inspiring.
How can any of us answer after that?
We're all tearing up.
Anyone else?
Nature, sunsets, sunrises.
And beaches. If I go with the same one, beaches and the waves and all the sounds. I like the sound of the waves. I don't know.
We're deep people.
You guys, I mean, the whole community, the fact that like sometimes, once in a blue moon, there is an issue where somebody is not negative about a project but says, "Good job, guys." That's what keeps me going.
So how about we give back to Hans and then everybody goes schematics at the same time. So 1, 2, 3.
Schematic.
Woo!
She got it.
I have to say, actually, I was really inspired this conference by Svetlana, who came and gave an amazing talk with her interpreter. The things that she must have overcome to actually get to where she is in her career is fantastic, and I think that's really inspiring, and that it's very humbling. You know, we've had a much easier ride, I guess. So I'd love to see more of that kind of thing in conferences.
Sorry, just one. For my part, what I like is really see what you people write about Angular. And it always amazes me to see articles on stuff that I do for you. So keep doing community stuff and building new libraries and tools and everything that everyone can use. This is what keeps me going.
For me, it's kind of related to what Hans said. It's when I see, Angular community members just helping each other, and it really warms my heart, because sometimes it's something that I was gonna say. It's like, it's much better that everyone else is saying it and just helping each other and being really positive, because sometimes it's really easy to get frustrated with problems, but that outside voice that tells you, I've been through this, you can do this, and it's really easy. And just seeing people do that to each other, it's really great.
I'll go next. So I'm really inspired by kind of changes and improvements to overall human productivity. I feel like that's a really big factor for kind of the quality of life for everyone across the globe. And so a lot of times when we're building software, it feels like we're treading water, where we're building the same things over and over. But if you just kind of look in the aggregate, compared 10 years ago to today, I can build a web application with real-time data for hundreds of users in 10 minutes. I couldn't do that 10 years ago.
Yeah, you couldn't do that.
Okay.
Up next.
What is the current state of the estimated lifetime of AngularJS?
What can I say? So if I got it right from the keynote yesterday, Angular.io now has almost 1 million, probably by today. It's over 1 million individual unique users per month hitting it. And the last time I heard, AngularJS was on about 850, 860. So we have now reached that moment where the Angular community is larger than the AngularJS community. And this is something that Brad has said for like a couple of years now, that this was going to be the tipping point where we have to start making a decision about where AngularJS is going to go. And we do have a plan in place, which we're going to start talking about over the next few weeks, about what we intend to do with AngularJS going forward.
So I'll caveat that a tiny bit.
But I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to say.
So there are still millions of AngularJS developers, and we know that, and we care about those people. A lot of those people work at Google. And so AngularJS is not, I wouldn't say ever, I don't think it's ever going to go away. It's just, I think what support means, what the investment means is going to change over time. So if you are building an AngularJS application, it's still going to work next year.
What's that? And longer, right? Longer than a year? Yeah. Go ahead.
And longer?
You don't change.
All right. Do you have any recommended strategies for keeping versions of Angular consistent across production application over time? So version 4, version 4.2, version 5, etc. Should I repeat that?
I'm not sure what that means. What does it mean?
We should ask Chris too.
So I think there's a couple things at play there. So if you have a bunch of teams that have different versions of Angular, there's probably reasons for that, right? Like the teams aren't using the same version control system, they're not using the same CI system, they're not in a mono repo. So we would have to look at kind of each of the challenges of why they can't update. And so it would be really case by case. But I mean, in general, we're designing Angular so that if some of your teams are on version 2 still, it should be relatively straightforward in a reasonable amount of time to get to 4 and then on to 5 and then stay up to date with everyone else. We care a lot about making it easy to stay on the latest version.
Cool. Performance for Angular apps across browsers are not the same. What's your advice on that, especially with infinite pagination?
Andrew?
Dun, dun.
So testing and benchmarking and profiling is a big part of that. Writing infinite scrolls is a good start to that, right? Don't render too many DOM nodes. That's the basic idea, right? But really just being aware of where you're doing things. And I don't know who said this today, but somebody made a point to mention that if when you start development, just go into your DevTools and turn on mobile emulation, right? And work in that mode sometimes. And that, if you can work in that mode and your app is fast in, 5x slowdown mode, then you shouldn't have to worry about any other browser. Your problem comes when you only develop in the latest version of Chrome for 6 weeks, right? And then you don't actually go back and check in other browsers. So testing early, making sure that you're validating that on slower, lower power devices, your app works, and if it doesn't, you have to adjust. But that becomes much more difficult if you're 6, 12 weeks down your development process, right? So you should be testing that on every commit into master. You should know what changed, how fast it is, et cetera.
Right. A question about Angular elements. What about bundling? For instance, I use 3 elements developed with Angular version 2, 4, and 5 respectively. Now I have 3 Angulars on one page without even being aware of that. Any early concepts how to approach that?
So on my slides of things we had to solve, that's one of the things that's listed is how do we do distribution, how do we do deployment, how do we do, sort of over the long term. It's not going to work in 2 or 4, so you don't have to worry about that because it's going to not land in 2 or 4. But in general, I think that one of the things that we'd like to get to is that, the version difference between 5 and 6 and 6 and 7 is going to be so minor that if there is a need to do that, and again, we would hope that that's not the way you do things, right? We would hope that you just keep on the latest version. The idea should always be you can recompile, use the latest version, and that should be trivial to do. But if it becomes that's not a possible thing, right, we have talked about the ability to shim the version between 5 and 6, right? So you use 5 and then you can shim it to 6, or you use 6 and you can kind of shim it back to 5. But in practice, we don't expect this to be much of a problem. Bundling in general is a little bit of a nightmare, and that's a problem that I think the whole ecosystem has. I don't think it's unique to elements or anything like that. But again, it just comes down to sort of sticking to the latest version and making it as trivial as possible to move between those versions.
Okay, so we're nearly out of time, but I thought I'd end with a really interesting one here. What causes expression change after it has been checked errors? And what patterns can be used to prevent it? I hope you got that. Should I say it again?
Is that part of the ANG game show?
Expression change after it has been checked errors.
So what it means, if you haven't seen this error before, when you're in developer mode, dev mode in Angular, what we do is we run change detection, and then we immediately run change detection again to verify that change detection hasn't caused any side effects, that you're not doing things out of Angular's change detection cycle. Typically, it means you're violating this one-way data flow idea, right? You're doing something that's kind of outside of Angular's loop. And so that's why the error occurs. And the short answer is don't violate one-way data flow, right? But in a lot of cases, there are cases where you can get confused. There are a lot of cases where it's not that simple. I think probably the material team, and maybe Kara has dealt with this on forums a little bit. You could maybe speak to that. But in general, it happens because we're trying to protect you, right? We're trying to expose to you are doing something wrong, and it should be an indicator to you that maybe actually I'm not looking at this the right way. It's not so much an error in Angular as much as it's an error in your code, and we're trying to point that out to you so you can fix it before it goes to production.
Yeah, I'll just add on to that. It is actually indicating a real error. It means that if you ran this application in production, something changed after change detection ran, and it's not going to run again in production, so you will not see your UI update and won't pick up that change.
I guess the reason why this sometimes occurs is that in AngularJS, it's very common to do things in watches, like have side effects in watches which affect things other than just what's in the template. So if you used to doing that in AngularJS and you kind of naturally fall over into doing it in change detection in Angular, then we're trying to change your ways.
Great. Well, that's all we have time for, unfortunately. So let's hear it for the Angular team, and thank you very much. Okay, Naomi, Ed.
Do we stay?
Can we have some of your microphones, please? No, you can stay where you are. We like looking at you.
But we're going to take away your microphones. Now we're going to talk about you. I joke. Does someone have a clicker also? Oh, Josh, you've got the clicker.
We're good.
I feel like all crowded. I'm going to go stand on the other side. I don't like hiding behind the podium. What? No, I'm just going. I'm not. I'm really not coming to mock you. Everybody's afraid of me. So, more tweets. Do we have more tweets to celebrate as we wrap things up?
Yes, I think we do.
Aha. Spazimir. Is Spazimir here? Is this somebody who's here on the live stream? No, we're going to celebrate this awesome tweet anyways. So much brain power, a zombie would have a field day at AngularConnect. NG community gets larger and more diverse every year. Thanks to everyone involved. Kudos to Google devs and AngularConnect. Look at all the happy people in that picture. That's lovely. Aww. My 3-year-old taking notes on advanced Angular forms, streamed live by Kara for the win at AngularConnect 2017. He'll be ready for, wait, no, go back. I want to guess on the small child. This one moves me because I left my own small child at home. Tim, if you're listening to the live stream, or if somebody knows Tim, could you get him to get in touch with us? Maybe we can send, if it is possible. I learned last year, international shipping is hard. So it may not be possible, but if it's possible, we would love to send a child's t-shirt to the adorable 3-year-old who is watching the live stream. Does anybody here have a child who fits into, what size do we go up to? 7 to 8? Show of hands, who here has a size 7 to 8 child? All right. We don't have enough for everybody, but we're going to run a couple out. Size 7 to 8 child. 3 to 4s? Okay, 3 to 4, make your hand like a fist. So I have a system. Maybe a fist is too rude. I don't know. We start getting political. I don't know. Just catch it from Ruth. Do we have any smaller ones? Children's shirts? 3 to 4. Over this side. Run some 3 to 4s over here. And keep one for the adorable child in the tweet. We have another one, right? Okay, next tweet. Abby, is Abby here? Oh, we can't tell. Everybody's putting their hands up. Abby, if you are here, the whole prize thing is falling apart. Ed? Is Abby here?
Yeah.
Wave both of your hands. Yay! Do we have a prize? Hooray. Abby says, suddenly realized I'm not the only one taking notes. I'm the only one taking notes on my notepad whilst everyone else uses their laptop or phone. Look how beautifully analog that is. Taki says, ready for another great day at the AngularConnect selfie contest. Are you still here? Yay! You need permission to view this video. There's a cat video.
This is the best one.
Request access.
Can you describe it? It's a cat playing with a spinner?
Yeah.
Aww.
It's a video with a cat in it. It was always going to win.
Is Joanna here? Joanna? No. Gone home to feed the cat, I suspect.
And that's it.
What? Oh, we need another prize? You don't, not him. How about a prize for, how about the person who has traveled here by a flight longer than 10 hours? Show of hands. Flight longer than 10 hours to get here. Stand up. Okay, stand up if you flew or took a train or some other mode of transportation more than 10 hours of travel to get here. Stand up. Stand up so we can see. Whoa. Oh yeah, where did you come from? They don't have microphones. From far.
He was wearing a 2015 t-shirt earlier.
There was someone here who was wearing an AngularConnect 2015 shirt. Who are you, mystery AngularConnect 2015 shirt wearer? It could be anyone.
He's wearing it today.
Today. Too bad. Gone home. What else?
Okay, I think it's time for us to say thank you.
Yes, it is time. We should say thank you.
It's time to say thank you. So I'm going to reel off a whole load of thanks, but I would like you all to clap and applaud throughout it all, and I'll say it quickly, and we can be out of here. Okay, so let's do that. So let's start the applause. Let's go. So thank you to our amazing sponsors. Thank you to our spectacular speakers. Thank you to the team at Excel. Thank you to Norma and Andrew at White Coat Captioning. Thank you to Dan and his film teaming, streaming. Thank you to our amazing guest hosts, Carmen, Naomi, Joe, and Tracy. Thank you very much to our charity partner, Macmillan. Thank you very much to White October events that make it all possible. And most importantly, thank you to you all for coming. Thank you. Goodbye. No, next year.